I wanted to make this video about the games I've been playing recently and completed, I should say, or for most of the part. I guess we'll start off with Yakuza, and that game needs its own video / write-up entirely to do it justice, and even then I won't be able to find the words to do it justice. It's got to be one of the greatest stories ever told in all the games I've played over the years. One of the, if not the best story told. I can't say enough about it. I guess the short of it would be Streets of Rage set in a 3D world with a amazing, like, John Woo type kung fu street crime type of premise. I don't even know. It's just a mashup of all these different things. It's just masterfully done. I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I didn't even break the surface. I beat it at like 50 some odd hours with a total completion rating of like 35%, something ridiculous. I then went from that to Journey. I got halfway through that game once before, but my youngest daughter, somehow, I don't know how she did it, but she deleted my save profile. So once I figured that out, I didn't feel like starting it over, and it's kind of like put it on the backlog forever. And I just the other day, for some reason, I had after I completed Yakuza, I had the urge to play that, and I don't know why. It just, something inside me was like, hey, let's hit that Journey up. So I played it and all the way through in one sitting, and wow, that game was awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed that game. The landscapes, the atmosphere, the presence of it all. It was beautiful. It was a fantastic experience. Really, really, really enjoyed that. And then I picked up The Last Guardian, which I've been super hyped for, and I, for some reason, just kept not picking it up. I don't know why. And shame on me for getting it when I did, because I only got to experience a few hours of it before Horizon dropped, and then I've just been stuck in Horizon. But so far, what I've experienced with The Last Guardian is nothing short of amazing. If you're into, if you have a dog or you're into animals and that sort of thing, like this game, I had really high expectations for it because I loved Shadow of the Colossus so much, and I knew that this team would put together a game that was just unlike anything else on the market. And lo and behold, it is exactly that. It's so unique. And what's upsetting about it for me is that there's so many people out there that you hear talking about how there's lack of innovation and it's just the same old with gaming, and nobody's trying to push the boundaries. And then this game comes out, and those very same people want to downplay it and make fun of it. And, oh, it's a bird dog, and oh, it's just stupid and silly, and there's the overall concept is just dumb, and it's just a walking simulator with a bird dog. And it's like, that is so far from what the game actually is, it's not even funny. Like, there's set pieces, there's narrative, there's puzzles, platforming, and doesn't hold your hand whatsoever. Like, the AI is unrivaled. I know some some bigger reviewers out there were talking about how the AI is trash and the Trico wouldn't do anything you wanted them to do. Yeah, that's because you don't know how to play games, apparently, because it is very much like how the player interacts and thinks outside the box in order to get Trico to do the things that you want him to do. It's quite brilliant. Another thing I wanted to touch on is when you first start the game up. It's one of my favorite openings to any game ever, because if you have, I actually took my my PlayStation 4 Pro out of the gaming room, put it in the living room so I could fully utilize the surround sound for it, because I just had a feeling that game is going to need to be experienced with full-blown legit surround sound. And the best way I can describe to you the opening presentation of the game and gameplay, if you will, is how I remembered seeing Jurassic Park for the first time as a child. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to dive into why or how or whatever. If you own a PlayStation, the game is $40 right now. There is no reason whatsoever you should not pick up this game. If you're into, I'm just gonna not know. You just need to own it. If you own a PlayStation 4, you need to buy this game. Simple. I mean, it's amazing. Is there some shortcomings? Yeah, the camera's a little wonky. It's not even so much. I mean, the camera's got problems, but it's understandable because they're trying to capture a very small object, which is your main protagonist, and then this giant thing that's your companion with you the whole time or whatever. Not necessarily the whole time, but within the same scene. And then on top of that, you're a lot of the times inside caves and stuff, so it's just kind of a odd dynamic that seems like it'd be really hard to capture with camera angles and whatnot, being in a third person perspective. So it's understandable, and it's okay, and it's easy to look past. For me, the major drawback is the character movement. I think it's a little too fast, and so it's a little loose, and so you tend to mess up a lot. But with that is kind of in itself a beautiful thing, because I found myself because the controls are kind of wonky, you would run off a ledge and just die, and it's awesome because he gets. You just kick that little kid's ass sometimes in a way that like you feel bad. You're like, damn, my fault. I didn't mean to make you hit your head on that ledge that hard. I apologize. But it's just extremely challenging. The story and the discovery of the story and where you're going, where you came from, what's the premise, all that is just badass. And again, I'm only like 4 or 5 hours into it, so I haven't even dove into the majority of the meat and potatoes, if you will. I'm going to pause this video because I got to run into the store, and then we'll come back and continue on to Horizon and things to come.